me. I was about to start the video without my mic. All right. So it's been how many days? 224 days since I've been documenting my e-commerce journey. And wow. Like, just to say wow, it's been a fucking roller coaster. And I'm making this video because I know that the next few months are going to be huge for me. I sense absolutely life-changing scenarios. So before any of that occurs, I want to take the time to look back at those 224 days and give to you what I learned the most. You know, if I were someone that was just starting, what advice would I give to him? And I think that if I were, obviously it's part of the whole process, but if I were to follow this advice since the beginning, my development would have came way quicker, obviously. And that's how life works. When you follow people, mentorships, coaches, guides, you speed up the process of the learning curve. One thing, I have a few things that I want to mention. One thing though, that, I know in e-commerce, everything's about kind of like, oh, should you like test products quickly? Should you take more time? Should you brand it? Whatever it may be. My only advice is, look, I probably agree. Maybe when you're first getting started, you're so unskilled in any of this. That's probably, it's probably best to just get the reps in. But the only advice that I would give is that even when you test quickly, maybe like you test a product every few days, right? It may be worth it just to spend, I know it's worth it to spend just a few hours trying. You could be wrong, especially at the beginning, you don't know, but at least trying to analyze why the last test didn't work. I truly believe if someone were to just start and every time they test, they try to write down key factors of why their last test didn't work, so that therefore they can improve on the next test, I just genuinely think you'd be unstoppable in a few tests. Like, it's written in reality, proven that you are improving every single test. And you can see it with your own eyes, like the key components, you've written them down. This is what I did bad, and I improved on it. Now this is what, and it's just like, it's so visible. I genuinely believe that that's probably one of the most important things in e-commerce, is to learn from your failures. In this game, you're going to fail a lot. A lot of these stores you're going to test aren't going to do well. And besides training our mind about on how to endure failure, it's learning how to endure failure, but also taking failure into lessons. And that was a mistake that I didn't do a lot at the beginning. I would just test and move forward quickly. And I wouldn't learn anything, really. It was just, luck, I guess. And that moves on to my next point. So I know that I'm kind of working on more of a branded store. And I've actually genuinely just realized that the process itself is more or less the same thing. You find the product, you find your market, your angles, you create creatives, make a website, and post on ads. It's all the same process. But the only difference is from people that just just drop ship quickly, and people that do brands, you're actually looking at the same products. The only difference is the why. And a lot of people now, I know, like, the move on e-commerce right now is to take a product that's working on one platform like TikTok and move it to Facebook, right? Or vice versa. But when people see a product that's working on TikTok, they just move it to Facebook, probably copy most of it, and just hope for the best. And look, I agree that everything in life is probability, but now you're just, it's like at that point it's gambling. You don't know. It's 50-50, probably less, way less actually. Your odds are against you. The difference is with branding, you find a product on TikTok, you say, well, I want to put it to Facebook, but before I do that, let me prove it with data. That's the only difference. Let me prove it. I always keep saying this. It's like you're presenting this idea to Shark Tank. They're going to ask you questions. You have to know the answers to all of them. Why is it working on TikTok? What's their market? What's their target audience? What's their angles? What's their profit margins? Why would it work on Facebook? What target audience are you going to target? What desires and wants do they have? What objections do they have? Understanding the why. That's the only difference. For me, I always thought that branding was like this crazy idea, like I'm not capable of doing it. But no, not really. I think branding is the way to go because you actually learn business. And when I say branding, trust me, I'm not talking about like some crazy, like I'm trying to change the term branding for you because I misinterpreted it as well. It's just simply doing what you're doing right now, but gaining more confidence in your test because you've proven it with data. It's like a well written down, thought of hypothesis. It's not just more of, TikTok to Facebook and then wish for the best. There's more energy and more thought, and that's why each and every test you do with having data proven behind it are going to be way better than just doing it and wishing for the best. So and there's levels to it, right? Like you can, like when you first start off, you can just simply take an hour to try to understand the why. Like you're never gonna be perfect at it, but it's just a simple fact of doing the actions and getting the reps in. You might spend an hour answering the why, and it may be very broad compared to very experienced people. But then the next time you spend 2, 3, 4, maybe a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week, and then you get better with reps. That's the whole point where everyone online says you get better with reps. And realistically, besides those two factors of genuinely just doing your homework and understanding and analyzing and learning from past failures, the key to it all is just never giving up. And I know it sounds cheesy, but it's just, that's genuinely what it is. And it's proven by science. There's studies, you can go on the internet, people that have studied ultra successful people, and if they have one thing in common is their tenacity and their perseverance and to not give up. And they have this idea where they tell themselves, well, if I just do it long enough, I'm eventually going to get it. That's the whole mindset that I have. If I eventually just show up on my desk here every day and try, I'm eventually going to get it. It's inevitable. If you mix those three things, I genuinely believe that not only are you going to get your dreams, your goals, your desires, your money, your bag, whatever it may be, I genuinely believe that you'll get it pretty quick. Quicker than others that, like me, who've taken a decent amount of time to figure all these advice, I guess you can say. But basically, I do this channel for this. I may not be, ultra successful in e-commerce. I may not have made 6 figures yet, but I can wholeheartedly say that I've gone through 224 days plus. I've done it way before I started documenting it. It's been over a year, and I can definitely say I've learned something along the way. And hopefully by creating videos like this, you out there, someone out there that may not know this yet, or may just be starting, or maybe on the same level but just weren't aware, I can provide some value and help you out there. That's all it is. I just share my experience of what I've learned, and I do believe that because of these three things that I'm starting to implement now, that the next few months are going to be life-changing scenarios. Circumstances will change, and I'm saying here again, I've been manifesting all my success on my YouTube videos. Every time I record, I always say it's coming soon. I know it. It's not I believe, it's like I know it. And I always say it again. I can't wait to look back at these videos and say it wasn't luck. It was not luck. I knew it since the beginning. So, with that being said, thank you for watching. And I'll see you at the top.